aggressive.
On this episode of The Dog Whisperer.
I was very cautious making every move I was making, but he was letting me know I'm this close to strike.
My greatest fear with his behavior is that he will hurt someone. Alfie. And that he'll be taken away from me.
My job is to help people to understand what dogs really need. When a dog is balanced, you're going to enjoy a true friend. My dream is to share the knowledge that I was born with the rest of the world. I love what I do.
The home of Anita Ebel used to be a happy menagerie of people and animals. But this idyllic life was turned upside down when Anita found herself with 2 boyfriends.
When my friend David would come over, the dog would just go crazy.
Boyfriend, a 4-year-old herding mix, just doesn't get along with Anita's boyfriend, David Kovach.
My mother's friend David really would like Boyfriend gone.
David is convinced that Anita's house just isn't big enough for 2 boyfriends.
If it was up to me, I would have put the dog down quite a long time ago.
Boyfriend became part of our family. I came home from work one day, and he was in the backyard laying next to Ginger right outside the back door. And I said, what is this?
So we ended up just deciding to keep him, and we call him Boyfriend because he's Ginger's boyfriend.
What the heck is one more when you got as many as we have?
We don't know anything about his background. When he came to our property, he was in really bad shape. He was limping. He was very malnourished. We took him in, fed him, took care of him, and he was a great dog.
But it wasn't long before the 2 boyfriends had their first skirmish.
Boyfriend's bad behavior, his attitude, started the same day that I noticed him, with the head going down, the shaking, which were signs to me that there's something wrong with this dog.
I made the mistake one time of not realizing David was out walking his dogs, and I had Boyfriend loose in the backyard.
It had snuck up behind me and just attacked me and my doggies.
Bit his dogs, bit him.
The second time Boyfriend bit me, once again grabs a hold of my leg, this time right here on my thigh.
Please, just a little more. Let him grab. Look at that.
Getting bit 4 times is definitely my limit.
Since then, Anita has kept Boyfriend confined in a backyard pen.
I had to make him safe because I do work, and I had to make him safe all the time, 24/7.
We feel awful that he has to be separated from everybody else. It seems like he would love to play, but as soon as another dog comes towards his cage, he'll grab his toys, he'll shake them, he'll rip them.
I take him for a walk up in the hills where I can let him loose, and I could see for at least a mile. And I have called dog trainers, and no one for no amount of money would come out and even try. Everybody told me to put him down.
I'm hoping that Caesar can make Boyfriend compatible with everybody in the family so we feel safe.
I'm a bit skeptical. This dog's pretty set in its ways. I don't know how. He'd have to be some kind of a miracle worker.
Can dog behavior expert Cesar Millan negotiate a peace treaty between Boyfriend and David? Cesar is often called in as a last resort for families that are agonizing over whether to give up their dog or even have it put to sleep.
How can I help you?
Well, I have a dog named Boyfriend.
Okay.
That has been about the meanest dog you'd have. There is no way a stranger can come in my yard. He bites at the fence. He'll take his doghouse and bite at it. If my friend David walks by with his dogs, he just viciously just goes right after him. And so I have to keep the dog penned up.
There's a lot of hostility because of the dog. I'm going to take my dogs for a walk. Boyfriend starts doing his little showing off and how tough he is. Keep your dogs down. Well, get your dog out of here. He has no business being here. And then the neighbors complaining.
One dog is creating all this commotion.
One dog, yeah. Because she loves him. I can't stand him. Please help us.
Okay, I'm going to do my best. I'm trying to get as much as information I need in order for me to find out where is it coming from, and if the dog came already that way. Boyfriend was not that way in the beginning. Boyfriend was afraid in the beginning. So when we don't understand the fear, it's not something that we have to nurture, we can create a fearful, aggressive dog eventually. Have you owned dominant dogs before? Have you owned aggressive dogs before? Sounds like you haven't.
Yes, I have.
You have? Okay, so
had.
just talk to me about that.
I had a greyhound that we also found that was
Hold on.
down.
A greyhound.
Yes.
Everybody say greyhound is the sweetest dog in the world.
My husband, who is dead now, got out of bed and accidentally stepped on the dog. The dog went after him.
That just let us know that even a greyhound or any kind of breed can become aggressive from the lack of leadership. This home was not providing dominant energy towards the animals. What did you do?
Yes. Well, I couldn't beat him. Locked him up.
So
Kept
that's how you
him-
punish dogs?
No, that's how I protected the dog from ending up in the pound, getting killed, and protected everybody else.
Yeah, but when did you discipline the dog?
Didn't know what to do.
And the punishment or the discipline thing you did was just to put him away, like timeout,
That's right.
which in the animal world that doesn't exist.
I mean, the dog didn't understand he was bad. That's why I put him outside.
They don't rationalize. It's not that they're less than a human being. Dogs have a different psychology from a human psychology. So that's the first thing we have to really recognize. If you don't want to maintain this dog behind walls, if you don't want to maintain this dog antisocial the rest of his life, because that's what he's creating. And the only way he can change is if we involve exercise, discipline, then affection. This is the type of dog that he can get affection before exercise and discipline. The exercise allowed them to be calm, and then the psychological influence, which is the discipline, allows them to be submissive. Then you have a calm, submissive dog. Then you love them. If you share love when the mind is not stable, you're not helping them. You are actually nurturing instability. So we have to be the pack leader as much as we are their friend and everything else we can develop on the way.
I've got the fear of testing it out.
Why?
Because what if I couldn't control him and he did bite?
What is your approach to coming down?
Screaming. I'm a screamer.
Screaming does not allow you to control aggressive dog. You might control a timid dog with screaming, but this is not a dog that you're going to control with screaming.
Anita here has a big heart, and you're kind of telling her, she's got to make some serious changes. I'm concerned whether or not she's going to be able to do it. I'm concerned that after everything, I'm going to get bit again, and my poor puppies are going to get hurt, or there's going to be another huge fight. I don't think that dog should still be here. I think it should be put down.
He's not giving him a chance anymore, and his mind is done. It's not the dog's fault. He's blaming the dog. And this is not about blaming the animal. It's about really taking full responsibility. The human, the owner, the one who rescued this dog, the one who brought this dog into the environment, is the one who's responsible of his behavior. Concerns are good. Hope is also really good. So, I mean, just share half and half. A little bit of negativity.
Keep an open mind.
There we go. Because the energy flows best that way, and since you guys, as a couple, get into the same frame of mind, there's much more power behind.
Sure.
We need each other. Oh, poor guy.
Now that Caesar has heard from one boyfriend, he wants to get a sense of the other.
Oh my God, are you actually going in? Oh,
Where is the leash?
I'll get one. Oh God.
If she's gonna be a little worried, it's best for her to stay away.
I will try to relax.
You have to share the relaxed energy with an assertive approach. This particular case required nothing but baby steps. I was very cautious making every move I was making. That from the moment I walk in there, I always have to be calm and assertive. But he was letting me know I'm this close to strike. This close. So me feeling that, knowing that, I wasn't gonna push his buttons, but I was gonna help him to calm down a lot more. This is why I practice what I practice in front of him. I totally give him my back, which some people would feel, hey, you're becoming a target. But this is just allowing him to calm down in front of me, next to me. With the backpack, he is now calm, submissive.
Once boyfriend is calm, Caesar asks David to approach him with his dogs. Ironically, it's David's 2 Australian shepherds that start a fuss.
But even though he's instigating, he's avoiding.
Yeah, totally.
We're not saying a command here. It's all energy controlling the behavior. So the presence of a human can actually change the behavior of a dog. It's your turn.
Caesar attempts to show Anita the basics of how to walk Boyfriend.
Oh, Mom's
We didn't
here.
went to a long walk. We didn't challenge the dog in any other area. This dog was about to strike. We can't challenge him too much. He's way too sensitive. He's right there at the edge of him coming after us and releasing his frustration. Hold on, don't move. So we really gotta get into the role of being the dominant one.
Okay.
Okay? We want this picture when you come out of this door. He's calm, submissive. No, he's pulling you now.
So jerk him?
No, you guys have to come together. He can't pull you. Put the choke chain all the way in the top, just like a dog show. Your choke chain is for the left side, so you have to change position. Now, see how you are tense? Just relax a little bit more. There we go, then you come. At the moment he pulls in, you pull. That's right, that's better. See the difference? Now, that's bad, let me have it. Anita is in level 0 right now of leadership. So if I'm gonna take a dog, the owners have to do their homework to at least put themselves in level 3, and then I can take it from there. Because without their commitment, we're not going anywhere. The dog will come back and we'll go right back to where he came from.
When he told me I was doing everything wrong, you know, I believed him because I could see it. And the way he explained it to me, he was 100% right.
Casual. This way he gets to practice, follow the leader.
Just the few minutes he worked with him I saw a change in that dog.
Right here.
Like I never thought that could happen.
As you see, he's pulling that way. This is why we can't pet him right now. But mentally, he's listening. Emotionally, he's not here yet.
From now on, Caesar wants Anita to be the calm and assertive pack leader on their daily walks.
Trust me.
I am absolutely going to do what he said. The whole family is. We're extremely encouraged. If that dog has his proper exercise, he's going to have some energy spent out, and he's going to be more receptive to whatever I tell him or want him to do. And it's not necessary to hug and kiss him all the time.
We're just moving
You
forward.
got a good hold of that dog, right?
Absolutely, my man.
Next, a calm, assertive Caesar brings the two boyfriends together.
So he is ignoring, as you see. Boyfriend proved us today that if we live in the moment with him and we give him what he needs, he's gonna give us a state of mind that the family never saw before.
David's never, ever been this close to this dog
Never?
without being bit.
Right.
Yeah, never.
And he's not trying to bite him.
No,
either.
he's not.
He's not sending him any signals.
No.
David have to become part of the strategy here because they have some friction going on with each other. David is part of the family, but in Boyfriend's eyes, he is not part of the family. What do you think?
Even David is willing to give his rival another chance.
Well, I think if I can be a little bit more peaceful, it'll help out immeasurably.
Where they have to now learn the exercise discipline before affection is going to be the formula to bring him back to normal.
Caesar will continue to monitor Anita and her family's progress in hopes that Boyfriend will be able to live a balanced life outside his pen as soon as possible. Alfie is a 3.5-year-old English bulldog, pampered and loved by actress and television host Daisy Fuentes.
Alfie is an English bulldog, and my fiance has always had a passion for English bulldogs. So when we saw him as a puppy, Matt, my fiance, picked him up and just would not put him down. So we had to take him home. There were no behavior problems in the beginning. For like 1.5 years, he was just glorious to be around. He was a gorgeous little puppy, very playful. And then about 1.5 years, 2 years into it, we started noticing that he got a little defensive, mostly overprotective with the house, the door, the gate, whenever he was behind anything.
What could have happened to turn this precocious pup into a bullying bulldog? Alfie's aggression seemed to escalate when Rita, a 2-year-old Wheaten Terrier, joined the family.
Rita jumps all over everybody in a loving way, but nonetheless, it's very annoying if somebody comes to the house dressed up, we're ready to go out. They will run down the driveway. Alfie just looks like a tank coming at you. My greatest fear with his behavior is that he will hurt someone. He has snapped at a couple of people. He's broken the skin, and I'm just very worried that he's gonna genuinely hurt someone bad one time, and that he'll be taken away from me. I've heard such wonderful things about Caesar, and I really hope that he can pinpoint what the problem is and just give me some techniques that I could put into effect to just turn him into a sweetheart again. I know, baby, I know.
Dog behavior expert Cesar Millan knows that bulldogs can be among the toughest dogs to rehabilitate. They're not only strong, they're often stubborn.
Caesar!
Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
It's so good to meet you. Come on in.
Thank you.
I'm really hoping that you can help, mostly with Alfie.
Okay.
What's been happening is that in the last couple of years, he's become quite aggressive.
How old is he now?
He's about 3.5 now,
Okay.
almost 4.
So when he was a year old, he didn't show
No.
any aggression?
A 1.5, 2, we started noticing a little bit. And since then, it's just progressed, and it's gotten progressively worse. And it seems to be mostly in the house. He's very overprotective of the house. And it's become a real problem. He has bit a couple of people that have known him since he was a puppy and trust him and love him and put their hands through the gate to try to calm him down, and he's taken a chunk.
Right. And they were trying to calm him down when he was in that
Yeah, because
state of mind?
yeah, because they know him, and it's not like this aggressiveness where he keeps trying to attack him. He snaps, and then he realizes he did something wrong, and then he
Right.
just gets kind of shy.
Unsure. Alfie suffers from aggression. Rita suffers from hyperactive state of mind. The both are side effects caused by lack of exercise, lack of discipline. So when he did the first aggressive motion towards somebody, what did you do? Did you just pull him away? Did you correct him?
I yelled no, and I pulled him away, and I just reprimanded him, and he knew that he'd done something wrong. If he's really bad, I'll give him a little spank on his bum and put him behind the gate and just kind of ignore him for a little bit.
And when he's behind the gate, what the state of mind is? I mean, is he laying down? Is he submissive?
He's crazy.
Oh, he's still crazy. Okay, so he didn't get the message of discipline then. Alfie has already bitten 3 people, and so if we don't stop him, he will keep biting people. This is not gonna stop until somebody set up new rules. For dogs that lives at home, they get affection before anything else.
Right.
So the one is fulfilling himself is the human. Human is not really fulfilling the animal, the dog, the breed, then the personality. We go right away to the name. So we love the name. So we begin backwards every single day. We wake up, hi, baby.
Right.
So when a dog feels that the human does not represent 100% authority figure, they're just not gonna listen to the human. We have to start acting right away. Alfie needs rules, boundaries, limitations, but he first needs exercise. Then it will be easier for Alfie to follow rules, boundaries, limitations.
So you truly believe that a dog that is aggressive, that you should be afraid of him actually biting someone? You can rehabilitate him to the point where you don't have to ever worry about him biting someone?
I rehabilitate red zone cases. And a lot of them are missing exercise discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah. 99% of them go back to normal. It's only 1% that won't make it.
Okay, Caesar, fix him. Fix him!
There's no magic wand to fix it. We have to provide exercise, discipline, affection. Yeah.
I think I can do it.
You just have to make sure when you bring somebody in the house.
That's really bad, huh?
What?
What he's doing.
Well, it is bad because you didn't invite him into the couch. He invited himself. But, you know, I love to have him in the couch as long as I invite them into the couch.
Yeah, huh?
Alfie does whatever he wants. So again, this is one of those cases where the dog owns the house and the owner just lives there. These guys are gladiators. I want to block gladiator forever coming to the mind. Same like a pit bull, same like Doberman, same like Rottweilers. If you don't want to have troubles with them. Right. And the way we do it is by fulfilling animal, fulfilling dog.
Caesar begins the lesson at Daisy's front door, where any new visitor tends to trigger Alfie's aggression.
It was more for Daisy to show me how does she try to control the situation.
Probably won't be too bad right now, just because there's so many people here.
Is that a mild reaction?
That's very mild.
Very mild.
Yeah, we're all here.
Would you do anything there?
Go to your place. Alfie, go to your place. Go.
Her style was just to remove the dog away from the door without really making the dog submitting to the situation. Shh. There we go. Before I remove him from here, I make him submit, and then I put him away.
I see.
You understand? The way you were doing it earlier is you're making him go away when the mind is like this. So the mind goes and lays down here, and the mind is like this.
He's still over there.
Yes. What I would do is I would come and bump against him, touch him, anything just to trigger this. Once he looks at me, then I move forward.
Yeah.
There we go. I have not met him when he's in a red zone. Yeah, so it's easy to redirect, but it will be the same approach.
Daisy tries it Caesar's way.
Then you move this way.
Come on.
Once Daisy understands how she can tame Alfie's aggressive behavior at the door, the sound of a squeaky toy reminds Daisy of something else about Alfie.
Look, they're trying to take away that little cheeseburger that he's got in his mouth that's making the sound. There's no way.
Why not?
I mean, I guess there is a way. Come here, boy.
Anytime a dog has something in his mouth, less likely for anybody to get it away from it, especially when you're dealing with bulldog type.
He would never let go of a toy, much less his little prized cheeseburger.
And that triggers a lot of this killing mentality because every time it squeals, the dog gets more worked up and more fixated about it.
Caesar demonstrates how a pack leader handles a pack member.
This is my approach before I give him the toy. You know, before I give him I'm gonna use it as much. He can't touch the toy, that's one
Right.
thing. He's not gonna get the toy if he does excited behavior. He will get the toy if he does patient behavior.
Right.
So I can put the toy on the floor. As you see, he's already trying to use his physical, strategy. There we go. He caught me. He won the first round. Now I can claim the toy back. I'm using what he's using. Right? My hand becomes a mouth, my fingertips the teeth. Energy is the same. Two dominant males getting the same toy, right? But I am gonna be the most dominant male, so I'm gonna claim this toy. But I'm gonna reward him when he's calm, submissive. There he is. And eventually, just by you saying shh, he has to drop the toy. He's playing with the toy in my terms. Notice that? See, I reward this. This is the highest level of submission.
Yes.
Here, mister.
Oh, he's such a baby. I will probably still treat them as children or refer to them as my kids, which I know is wrong, but I'm just being honest. But I will keep in mind and realize that they are animals. Alfie? When I did it, it didn't work so well, but you know, we both need to practice a little bit.
There he is.
It's new to both of us.
It takes 10 seconds for them to know what position that you want. You have lived with him 2.5 years. That's what I'm saying about affection, exercise, discipline.
After Caesar showed him who was the dominant male, to see Alfie come around and just want to lay by him instead of me, that was brilliant.
Don't touch the door.
Caesar recommends daily long walks with Alfie to help burn off his energy. And whether playing with toys or greeting guests at the door, Daisy must take the lead and show Alfie who's boss and what it's all about every day.
As long as Daisy follow this basic strategy, exercise, discipline, affection, and instead of sharing a discipline with excitement, frustration, anger, or any of this behavior, she is going to accomplish what she saw today. She saw that there's a way to get to Alfie's mind without being frustrated about it. And Alfie got the point. That's the greatest thing about it. The Alfie actually cooperated and did something that he never done before.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, better late than never. I think we're still in time. And as you saw, he's a good dog. He's, you know, and I'm saying he's a good dog, where normally I would say he's a really good baby.